Luke 10, verse 19, part 3. So you may be asking, what does this have to do with me? And what does this have to do with this verse? It has to do with everything. God intended for the church to be the leader and maintain order so that the people do not have to face the repercussions of their actions. For by our actions, we create our own judgment. This is why the Puritans only allowed members of the church to be in politics. This is why today church members need to run for office, and why God called some of you into office, but you have been disobedient. This is why God gave power to the church, for he knew a church surrendered to him would form an aristocracy rule under God's law, just like the Puritans did in 1640. With an aristocracy, children will be educated in religious values, and Bible classes will once again be offered in the school as it was with the Puritans in 1647. Free enterprise, entrepreneurial creativity, and industrial growth will once again be reintroduced and thrive because the leaders will know that capitalism is the only way to maintain economic growth. These leaders will also know that capitalism grows and functions from hard work and seeking spiritual salvation. This was the belief of the Puritans. It was the Puritans who introduced capitalism, not the separatists. These leaders will encourage small businesses and help them to flourish rather than heaving heavy taxes and burdensome, unnecessary EPA regulations. These leaders will encourage farmers and farming by lowering property taxes and removing land acts such as the Water Protection Act and others that take land away from farmers and ranchers for the spoils and agenda of the government. This power that God has given us is a potentate ruler. That is one that will not bow down to any human, but serves only God and will not compromise with his principles. He will not be intimidated by the elitist forces of evil serving Satan, but will stand in his power and authority, knowing that his leadership will prove that God exists. This leader, with the church behind him, will tread, that is, trample, smite, strike the serpents, that is, a sly, cunning, and malicious person. A serpent also refers to Satan. With this power God has given us, we will trample, that is, crush scorpions. In the Greek concordance, the word scorpions refer to the goals and plans of those who do evil and want to do harm. No longer will their plans be hidden, but all will be revealed and exposed, including the lies. The truth will be revealed, and the people will be set free. With this power, there will be liberty for all, for we will have power over all the power of the enemy. Over, in the Greek concordance, means superimposition of time, place, order, etc. Superimposition means to lay or place something on or over something else. Over also means a relation of distribution, that is, over, upon, etc., or direction towards, against. This means the power God has given us is over the power of the enemy. This again goes back to Revelations 1:1-6, where God said there is no authority above the true church except Jesus Christ. What kind of power do we have power over? This type of power in the Greek concordance means force, literally or figuratively, specifically miraculous power, usually by implication a miracle itself, ability, abundance, might, strength, violence, mighty work. From this meaning, we, the church, have power over all, every, the whole, natural and supernatural power. Whom do we have power over? We have power over the enemy. In the Greek concordance, the term enemy is very broad. It is anyone, supernatural or natural, that is hateful, passively odious, or actively hostile. An adversary, especially Satan, a foe. Odious in the dictionary means revolting, repulsive, disgusting, offensive, detestable. What is the purpose of this power God has given us? It is so that nothing shall by any means hurt you. Nothing in the Greek concordance means not even one, man, woman, or thing. It also means any, a double negative, strengthening the denial. Not at all, any more, nor ever. It is also a primitive particle of qualified negation and expresses an absolute denial. This is powerful. So why do we allow people to hurt us? Is it because we don't know our identity? Or are we one of those people who just wants to slide into heaven without following and surrendering all to Jesus? How does God define hurt? This is very specific. As you listen to the terms, think about times where you chose to be a victim instead of being victorious over the situation, time, place, order, etc. Hurt in the Greek concordance means to be unjust, that is, act, do wrong, morally, socially, or physically. Hurt, injure, be an offender, do, suffer, take wrong. This means the Christian photographer, wedding cake baker, and caterer will by no means be harmed by an LGBT who unjustly forces them to provide services contrary to their moral conscience. This means ISIS or any other radical who hates you can by no means harm you. God says in His Word that He has given us power over these individuals. If we return governance back to the church, these people will have no authority over us by rule of the law. You may be thinking, but this is theocracy. From the beginning of time, God intended for theocracy to be the rule of the law, for only with a theocracy can morals and virtue be maintained, and the blessings of God continued. This is what the Puritans and followers after understood. It is not only written in the Bible, but also expressed through history from important figures. To be continued in Part 4.